Nation Television. My name is Tope Oginni, and you are welcome to Live Tips. For those who are just tuning in for the first time, Live Tips is an educative and informative program designed to offer safety advice and safety information. Anywhere safety matters are concerned is what we normally discuss on this program. It is a program that is meant to help you to live safely, to stay healthy, to make the most of every day of your life. And it is to guide you in all areas where safety matters are concerned. It is to guide you on how to avoid possible dangers, especially in and out of the home. It is to help you to know how you are supposed to react in any emergency situation that you find yourself. So this program is basically all about safety, making safety your priority. Safety first in everything that you need to do. So welcome on board. On today's episode of Live Tips, I'll be discussing a topic: safety tips for surviving workplace politics. Safety tips for surviving workplace politics. Let me start this way. Every workplace has two job descriptions. One is what is written on your appointment letter, and the other is the hidden one that you cannot see. It is never written on your appointment letter. You learn it through experience, whispers, and observations within the organization. You might walk in full of skills, honesty, and good into that organization, but suddenly you can just find yourself confused, left out, or even misunderstood. Promotions seem random. Credit for works move faster than your efforts. Silence sometimes matters more than hard work. So today, like I said, we are going to be looking at the battlefield that is called workplace politics. Yes, it's a battlefield because everybody is coming from different backgrounds with different upbringing, different ideas, different skills, so you are all coming together in that organization to form a team. To form a team, there is bound to be some kind of battle, whether spiritual, whether physical, whether emotional, whether financial, whatever it is. Workplace is a battlefield, and it's not to scare you. It's not to scare you. Politics generally is everywhere, even within the home, the family, the church, everywhere. So it is not meant to scare you. That is why it is called Life Tips. It is to help you to know how you can navigate your way, you can cope, you can manage your way, and you can still work in that place, in fact, without any issue, if it is possible. What is workplace politics? Simply put, workplace politics is the informal ways power, influence, and personal interest affect decisions at work. That is when we say workplace politics. It's an informal, it's not formal. Ways in which power, influence, and personal interest, they come into one to affect your decisions at work. It can involve favoritism, alliances, influence, tactics, or people putting themselves first in whatever they do. You observe that in workplace, all these things are usually in play. Favoritism is there, influence, people trying to put themselves above everyone or above the work, or putting themselves first in everything they do. They are not considering, they are less concerned about you. It's just about them. All these things, we see them happen in everywhere. But for the context of this topic, we are looking at the workplace. It is not always bad, but it becomes dangerous when fairness is ignored, truth is twisted, or people are used as tools. All these things is something that normally happens everywhere. Like I said, even within the home, marriage, and everywhere. But it now becomes dangerous when fairness is now ignored. When where you are supposed to be fair, you are now ignoring it. When where you are supposed to say the truth, you are now twisting it. When people are now being used as tools, against themselves, against the workplace, against the organization, that is when this politics now become dangerous. In short, Workplace politics happen when power is used without transparency. Signs of workplace politics. Let us look at some of the signs that you will know that politics is at play where you are working. How do you know you are in a political workplace? Watch out for all of these signs. Decisions made behind closed doors with no clear intentions. When decisions are made behind closed doors with no clear intentions, when you see some people go inside a room, lock themselves up, they went in there to take some decisions, and when they come out, they are not saying anything. You know, you begin to wonder what is happening. What have they come to say? What is it that they are hiding, that they don't want general staff or to every other person to know? Why is it that it's some selected people that they took into that room? You know, you begin to wonder. Credit hijacking. Someone else taking credit for your work. You are the one working, you are the hard worker in that organization, but you are hardly recognized. They know that you are a hard worker. They know that you are hard working. You are working very well. But your hard working is never recognized. It's not seen. Instead of you to be recognized, to be appreciated, to be recommended for bigger positions, what you see is that someone else is the one that is always taking credit for your work. These are politics. You are the one doing the work, but somebody else is the one taking the glory. It's the one always taking the thank you, taking the appreciation. When there's promotion, when there are opportunities, it is these people that are always taking those places. Politics is at play. Unequal rules, same mistake, different punishment. When people commit the same mistakes, the same error in an organization, and somebody is asked to go on indefinite leave, and another person is given just a week for the same mistake, for the same error, the same mistake, but you are taking different punishment. This is a sign that there is workplace politics happening in that organization. Why will somebody commit the same offense and you send somebody to go on indefinite leave and another person is just given a week? Somebody's appointment is terminated and somebody is just asked to go on 2 weeks leave on the same mistake, on the same error, but different punishment. Politics is at play. Office gossip used to control or influence people. When you know that in your organization there's what is called office gossip that is used to control or to influence some people against another people in that organization, there is workplace politics. There is workplace politics going on in your organization. If they want to fight somebody, the only thing they will use is gossip. They gossip about that person, they gather some people and they begin to tell lies or to begin to say some things that are not just true, just to gain influence and control over people or over those people. Politics is at play. Sudden coldness or hostility for no reason. Somebody just suddenly become cold towards you or suddenly become hostile towards you for no reason. You know within yourself, we didn't quarrel, we didn't argue, we didn't fight over anything. I can't even remember what is happening. All of a sudden, I just observed this colleague of mine suddenly became cold, became hostile. You know, anything I do is like he or she doesn't want me around him or her. If I happens to be in his or her team or we are paired together, I don't like the reaction I am getting from him or her. Politics is at play. Rewards for loyalty, not skill. Instead of people being rewarded for skill, for contributing their skill to the organization, to make the organization to grow, you know, to make the organization to expand, to increase, to be recognized for awards, for contracts. No. What you see is people are being rewarded for being loyal to the boss, to the MD, to the owner of the company and all of that because, oh, this is a loyal staff, this is a loyal colleague. Your skills are not seen, they are not recognized, they are not rewarded. You are just making use of your skill for doing sake. They are not recognized. When there are promotions, it is only the staff, the colleagues that are loyal, that they are being recognized. They are being recommended for international courses, promotions, opportunities, and all of that. And you know that you are working very well, you are diligent, you are good at what you are doing. Everybody is saying it. When they have to take some decisions or they need ideas, they will call you because they know that you have what it takes, you have the skill, you have the energy, you have everything. But yet, when it is time to be rewarded, it goes only to those who the MD, the boss, the chairman of the organization, the owner of the organization, the board decided to let it go to just the loyal staff, because they are not looking at skills. They are not looking at that you are very brilliant, you are very good at your job, you deliver, your delivery is very timely, your contribution during meetings powerful, is a top notch. They are not looking at that. They are looking at somebody who is loyal to them, somebody who will always go about gossiping in the organization, going to the MD, going to the organs in that organization to tell them what is not true about people, destroying people, because they know that that is what some bosses, some organs like. They don't reward, they hardly reward skills. People who are very good at what they do. People who are bringing in clients, bringing in customers to organizations, they don't see them. And this is not making people to be happy in your organization. Politics. Information hoarding to control outcomes. Some people, they have some information that people can learn from, that can grow from, but they will be hoarding it because they believe that they don't want you to hijack the information. They don't want to give you information so that you will not be the one in charge, you will not be the one controlling, you will not override them when they give out some information. It is politics that will always make people to do that. If there is nothing like politics, why will you not want people to grow? Why will you not want people to learn from you? Why will you not want to give information out to people, impact lives, so that they can grow? Tomorrow you might leave that organization. The people there will always remember that when Mr. or Miss or Mrs. Lagbaja was working in this organization, he or she was the one that taught me this, that gave me this information. And somebody, that some organizations, when there are new staffs, new employees, you see the old employees, the old staff in that organization, they will be hoarding information. They will not want to be open. They will not want to be transparent. They will not want the person that is just coming new to know some certain things, because they have insecurity issue, that if I should start opening up, I don't know, this person can take over, can override me, can do this. It is politics. Remember, these signs don't always shout. You may not see them shouting. You may not see them being loud. You may not see them being very visible, but they whisper. Just stay observant. You will see. You will observe all of these things, one or more of these in the organization where you are working, either with you or those that you are working with. Consequences of unchecked workplace politics on individuals: emotional exhaustion. You get tired when you are seeing that what you expect to happen is not happening, where you are supposed to be rewarded, where you are supposed to be recommended for promotion. It is those that are not diligent, that are not hardworking, that are being given all of these opportunities. You get tired. Loss of confidence. You begin to lose your confidence, because your confidence, your diligence, your good work is not being appreciated. So you might want to start losing your confidence. Anxiety and fear at work. It will create anxiety and fear at work to you as an individual. It will reduce your creativity and productivity. With time, you get tired. You start reducing creatively. You start reducing productively. You start reducing. You are no longer interested. What used to interest you, what you are always excited to do, the work that you're always excited that you want to contribute to your quota, you want things to go well. When you begin to see all these politics are happening around you as an individual, it will reduce your creativity, productivity, and even your contribution to that organization. Career stagnation or forced exit. When there are no career promotion, you are not being promoted, you have been working in that organization 10 years, 20 years, you are still where you are, no promotion, nothing whatsoever, no benefits, nothing whatsoever. With time, you start thinking that you are not growing here, no promotion, you are not growing, you are just where you are. Before you know, you'll be thinking of, I want to exit, I want to go out of this company. These are some of the consequences. Now, on the organization, toxic work, you will create a toxic work culture. People will be toxic towards one another because they know that this one is being favored by the MD. This one is being rewarded for not doing good work, yet they are being rewarded. When there is promotion, when there is opportunity for international trainings, instead for them to include names of people who are very, very good in that organization, they include people who are just being loyal to them. You know, you will create a toxic culture where people will begin to hate one another, you know, where people will begin to fight one another, where people will begin to see one another as enemy. And in that process, you cannot get a good teamwork. People will not want to contribute ideas where they are supposed to be active to make sure that things go well in that company. They will not do that. They would rather keep silent and watch things go down for you and your organization. Watch things go bad. They don't care because they know that you don't care about them. That's the kind of organization and the kind of environment, the kind of colleagues, staff that you build. High staff turnover, you know, before you know it, people will start leaving. Good hands in your organization will start going when they are not appreciated for their good work, for their diligence. They will start leaving. Before you know it, your company will just be packed full of people who don't know anything, who don't have brains. And with time, your customers, your clients, your partners will start seeing all of these things and they start complaining that it's like you are beginning to lose focus. No more good quality, no more timeliness, no more time management, and all of this. Your staff, they are beginning to be rude. No good, you know, there was complaints. Before you know it, your company will go down. Lots of trust. People will no longer have trust in you as their boss, as their organ at the top, because you cannot be trusted. You only reward those who are loyal to you. You are not saying those who are good at what they are doing. Poor performance hidden behind appearance. You start getting poor performance from people. Workplace don't just break systems, it also break the people that are working there. It's not only affecting the system. This is what I want. You are also breaking the people that God has brought to work in your organization. People that God has brought to help you take your company to the next level, you will be breaking them. And this will also come back to the company. Let's look at some of the real life examples of what we are trying. Let's bring all of this home for better understanding. A hardworking employee trains a colleague who later becomes their boss. And suddenly, their efforts are being ignored. Why will you allow somebody to train a colleague and the person later become their boss, like the loyalty that I talked about? And these same people, you will still leave them where they are. You will ignore them. You will not look at them. You will not look at the contribution that they have made for your organization. A manager feels threatened by a competent worker and start subtle sabotage and start sabotaging the work of that competent staff, because a manager feels threatening that this one might take my place, this one might be recommended internationally, this one might be this, might be that, because of their own insecurity. Before you know it, you know, they'll start sabotaging this person's work, start saying negative things, start complaining about their work, the same work that they have been doing very well, that you know they are good at. Now, because somebody is feeling threatened, someone is labeled difficult just for asking questions. When somebody decides to ask questions, maybe in staff meeting, decide to ask questions that will help the organization, not because he wants to fight the company or has something negative or to pull down the organization. When this person asks difficult questions, you now begin to, ask questions, you now begin to see them as they are too difficult. You begin to label that person. Our own is just too much. his own is just too much. Is he the only staff in this organization? Are you the only staff? Are you the only employee? Your own is just too much. Just because this person is just trying to ask questions that will benefit the organization and even every employee involved in that organization. The next one is people are offended. They are offended and they become offended, and then it starts affecting the growth of the organization. Now, how will you now survive all of these signs and the consequences, assuming you are an organization and all what I've been mentioning are what is actually happening in your own organization, and you like this company, you like working in this organization, you don't want to leave, or because you don't have a choice, there are no jobs anywhere, so you just have to be coping and be managing the situation. How can you survive before you break down, before it leads to emotional breakdown for you, before it starts affecting you mentally? How can is that the question that you've been asking yourself as an employee of that organization? Now, look at this. You have to be wise, not naive. Good intentions are not enough. Observe patterns and see who actually influences decisions. Titles don't matter. You have to observe. When you are in an organization, you have to observe the way things are done and run. Who are those influencing decisions in that company? Positively or negatively, you need to know. It's not about the title that they are carrying. And in that situation, you just need to be wise. You need to be wise. The next one is do excellent work. Do excellent work. Keep records of every work you are doing. Documentation is quite protection. Make sure that everything you are doing there, document them. Keep them. It's not for now, but it's for a day. There will be times that there might be change of power, and you might need to present what you have been doing. You might need to tell that person that this is what I've been doing. I've been long due for promotion in this organization. But because the bosses at the top are only interested in rewarding those who are loyal to them, not those who are good, who have skills, or who have done a lot for the organization. But these are the things that I've done while I've been working here in the last 10 years. Document your work. You never can tell. The person that comes in might be somebody that does not do favoritism, or is not interested in somebody who is loyal, but is interested in good work, quality work, diligence, and the person is ready to reward that person for that. So when you don't have anything to show, when you talk and the person says, okay, can I see evidence of what you have been doing since you have been working in this organization, and you said you don't have documentation. So please try and document whatever you have been doing if you are working in a workplace that is full of politics. This is one of the ways in which you can survive that workplace politics. Control your tongue. Control your tongue. Not everyone deserves your thoughts, your plans, your frustrations or complaints. Yes, you are frustrated and you want to voice it out, but you don't know that the person you are voicing it out to is a wrong person. It's somebody who is a loyalist to the MD, to the boss of that company. What do you expect? The person will go and tell the MD that this person has been complaining about you, about the organization, and before you know it, just one day they'll just tell you that you have to go, and you'll be asking, what have I done? Yes, you have not done anything, but because you have not been able to control your tongue. You have to control your tongue. You have to control your frustrations. You are frustrated about the way things are done in that organization. Who are you talking to? You must be very, very careful. Some conversations are traps in disguise. You may not know. The organ at the top may have planted some people in that organization, to relate with people so that they can hear from them and come back and tell them who is against the company or who does not like what we are doing here. And you may not know. You are just a free mind person, and you are just discussing. You feel that I'm just discussing with my colleagues now. After all of us are in it. You never know that this person is an agent to the organ at the top. Because of time, I won't be able to exhaust all what I've got to say because we are still on how to survive. So because of time, and we have to continue in the next episode. So if you're able to join me on this particular one and you want to have the full episode, then please try to join me again in the next episode. So because of this, I want to say thank you to as many who are able to join me on today's episode of Life Tips. Thank you to the production crew for making today's production a great success. Until I come your way again on another episode of Life Tips, I remain your host, Tope Oginni. Don't forget, on Life Tips, we will always help you to stay alert so that you don't get hurt. Thank you and bye.